Car Sales Talk 101, where it's all about life in the car business. Telling you like it is. Here's the man with the plan, Terry Cameron. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Car Sales Talk 101 and Happy New Year. I'm Terry Cameron. Goodbye 2020. Hello 2021. This is going to be a great year because we got stronger in 2020 having to deal with all the obstacles in our lives. So let's get started. This week I'm going to talk about something that we should all think about. And this is not just for salespeople. This is for anybody in any type of business. I stole this, or I guess I should say I learned this from Joe Verde Training Network. If you ever have an opportunity to listen to some of the training that comes from Joe Verde, and this is not a paid advertisement, you need to look into it because I've learned a lot from them. But it's the acronym LAST, L-A-S-T. Now let's start right from the very beginning. The L, that stands for look. Now, not look like a salesperson, but look like a professional. Look like a sales professional. Whatever you do, you just need to look like a professional. You'll feel better when you look like a professional. This reminds me of a story back when I first joined the military, and I'm not going to date myself and tell you what year it was, but I was the newest person in the unit. My job was to drive trucks. Well, the truck that I got was the oldest, raggediest deuce and a half in the entire battalion. That's just the way it goes. The newbie gets the old piece of junk. Well, I was responsible for that, and I was really proud, though, that that was my truck. That was my Army truck. So I did everything I could to make it look good. I mean, I cleaned it, I maintained it, everything. You know, the only thing I couldn't hide were the bullet holes that were in it. But I made it look good, and for some reason, when it looked good, it ran better. And I won a lot of awards and extra long weekends because when they inspected my truck, it looked good. And for some reason, it never broke down. So I think that's the same thing for us. If we look good, we feel good, and we're going to run better. I see it all the time. So what I want you to do before you head out to the dealership or whatever job you're going to, you need to stop and look at yourself and wonder what the other person is going to be seeing when they look at you. Are they going to see a rag bag? Are they going to see somebody that looks like they shined their shoes with a brick? Is their hair all messed up? Does your shirt look like a road map because there's so many wrinkles in it? You need to look at that, and you have to want that other person looking back at you saying, "Wow, that's a sharp person." When I first got into the car business, we had to wear shirt and ties. And for some reason, everybody decided that they wanted to be Rico Suave. You know, we all went out and bought nice suits, and we looked really good. And it stood out. Whenever we went out to lunch with the boss, with the rest of the sales crew, people just looked at us, and they saw success. We felt like success. And because we looked like it and felt like it, we were successful. So I want you to think about this every single morning before you walk out that door and head to work. Do you look like a pro? Do you look like somebody that you want to be working with? Think about that. It's very important. Remember what they say, that perception is reality. If you look good, people are going to think you're good. And when they think you're good, you are good. You start believing it, and we're going to move on to the next. A, L-A. The A is act like a professional. You need to be aware of your surroundings. Who's listening to you? Who's watching you? Are there customers at the other end of the showroom that can hear what you're saying, or they can see you joking around? Even if you look like a pro, but you're not acting like one, they're not going to see a professional. So you really need to think about that. You need to think about that when you're out at the grocery store, you're at the restaurant, wherever you might be, you're representing your dealership or your company. If you're wearing a logo, they know where you're from. They're going to look at you, and that's the perception they're going to get about the business that you work for. So I want you to act like a professional. Be aware of your surroundings. You need to understand everything about what's going on around you. Now, S, L-A-S. S is sound like a professional. Get rid of all the slang. This drives me absolutely crazy when I hear people on my showroom floor saying, hey, we're going to write you up. Who wants to get wrote up? I mean, when I was in the Army, if you got writ up, that meant you were in trouble. We don't want to write up people. We don't want to say, hey, let's go fill out the credit app. How about let's go ahead and complete the customer statement? And then when we're done with this, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, you're going to go to the box and they're going to finalize your paperwork. Again, who wants to get written up, go do paperwork in a box? Mr. and Mrs. Customer, as soon as we're finished with all of this and your customer statement, we're going to get you back there with our business manager, and they're going to finalize all the paperwork for you right now. How's that sound? A little bit better than you're going to get written up and go to the box. How about the desk? I have to go to the desk. What in the world does it? We know what that means, but our customers don't understand what that means. Mr. and Mrs. Customer, I'll be right back. I'm going to go check with the desk and see if this is okay. That sounds like somebody's going to the sergeant of arms, somebody at the police station to check on it. We're going to the sales manager. We're going to the inventory manager. We're going to the service manager. We're going somewhere other than the desk. And managers, I hope you don't call yourself a desk manager. That just doesn't make any sense to me. A desk manager? What are you managing? The desk? How about a sales manager that sits at the sales desk? That's what I want you to do. Get rid of all of that slang. What about a demo? Mr. and Mrs. Customer, we're going on a demo. How about a test drive? Who wants a demo? Really, guys? That just doesn't make any sense to me. So I want you to look, act, and sound like a pro. And last but not least is the T. And a lot of people think that the T stands for to talk like a pro. Well, I think that was already answered in the S when I talk about sounding like a pro. The T stands for think like a pro. I'm going to go back to what I said about my truck. When I felt like my truck looked good, as a matter of fact, even my first car that was a real hoopty, it was clean all the time. And it seemed to me when it was clean, it ran better. If you think like a professional, if you're always thinking about what could I be doing right now to help me get better at my profession? What could I be doing right now to help me sell another car? What could I be doing right now to make me better at my job? If you're always doing that, you're going to get better. You need to think like a pro, because if you think like a pro, you are a pro, and everybody can see it. You don't have to talk the talk. You walk the walk. And I'm sure you've all met somebody that as soon as they walked in the room, they commanded attention right away. Well, I'm going to tell you, that's what's going to happen with you. If you look, act, sound, and think like a pro, your customers, everybody else that sees you, they're going to see a successful person. They're going to say, that is an important person. I need to be listening to what they say. That salesperson over there is a professional. That's who I need to be working with. Not the one with their shirt untucked, their tie crooked, or wearing a raggedy old jacket or jeans even, or tennis shoes that are dirty. I mean, who wants to deal with somebody like that? I see it all the time on my own showroom, and all I can do is shake my head. That's the way things are going right now. I want you to think about this just a little bit. Is this a job, which stands for just over broke, or is this your career? If it's a job, okay, go ahead and look like you look, because you're not going to be doing this very long. But if this is a career, you really need to look, act, sound, and think like a pro. That's what's going to put you above everybody else. Always above everybody else. And your customers, your family, your friends, everybody's going to look at you just a little bit different when you're a professional. You know what else a professional does is they make more money. Certified professional salespeople make more money than uncertified and the fly-by-night salespeople that take this as a job. This is so important, and doing these things without having to learn anything else about your product or anything else is going to make you stand out, and you're going to sell more cars. And that's what we're here for, to sell more cars, make more money, and have more fun. So that's about it for this week, guys. It's been I haven't talked to you since last year. It's going to be another 2 weeks before the next episode. So this gives you some time to reflect on this and start working on looking, acting, sounding, and thinking like a pro. I need to apologize for the noise in the background because it's snowing here in Central Texas, which never happens. So my dogs are inside playing and shaking around. So they just ran into my office But hey, it's 2021. Things are going to be crazy just like 2020. We're just better at adapting. So remember, the sky's the limit, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Please rate it and write a review on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate your valuable feedback. You can email Terry at 10minutessalestalk@hot.rr.com. And don't forget to share the show with a friend.